My GF and I have been together for 2.5 years and we have a really great relationship. My sister and I have always been close, so I was really happy when she and GF met and hit it off right away. They get along insanely well and it's awesome, or was awesome. It might be important to point out that they are both bisexual. Everything was normal up until about 3 months ago. They started hanging out together more often than usual, taking day trips, and having sleepovers, and going for dinner etc. I didn't care about it initially. I thought it was cool that the two most important women in my life were such good friends. Then my sister Amy started making comments saying that if we ever broke up she's first in line to date my GF Emily. She calls Emily her wifey and follows her around like a lost puppy. Amy says that Emily is *OUR* girlfriend, and I swear she gets jealous when I interact with her. Then last week I got home from work, and as I walked through the door I could hear them chatting in the living room. This isn't out of the ordinary. It was. What I heard that really bothered me. My sister said, "Holy fuck. I have such a crush on you," in the most lustful voice I've ever heard. I really hated typing that. Emily laughed and their conversation moved on, but it really didn't sit well with me, so later on I asked Emily what they were talking about. I think context is important. She told me that they went shopping earlier in the day and were doing a little fashion show for each other. She said that those kinds of comments are normal between girlfriends and it's nothing to worry about. It made sense to me, and I trust Emily. I decided to talk to Amy. I asked how their shopping spree went etc. and then gently asked her what the crush comment was about. She got very defensive and accused me of being jealous of her relationship with Emily, then told me to grow the fuck up. I'm not worried about Emily doing anything behind my back to betray me, and I never have. There's just something about the way my sister is acting that irks me and I don't know how to approach this without blowing up any of our relationships. TLDR, I think my sister is into my GF, and I don't know how to deal with the situation without ruining relationships. Okay, well be prepared, because no matter what you are gonna hurt some feelings. There is no gentle way. She calls Emily her wifey and follows her around like a lost puppy. Amy says that Emily is our girlfriend, and I swear she gets jealous when I interact with her. Talk to your GF about it. Say your sister is jealous. Say your sister sees her as our GF, and that you are not okay with that. Talk about less hanging out with your sister. And do not back down. And see what happens. Basically tell her what you wrote in this post. To your sister. Say that you don't like it and be stern. Tell her to only come over if you are around. Wish you the best. This situation is crazy. If either one of them does not accept your boundaries, it is time to break up with one of them. I was in pretty much the exact same situation, though with a mutual friend instead of my sister. She kept acting like they were dating when they were both taken, and I got pissed over it. Red flags all over. Get the fuck out. I stuck around and got pissed, and she left me anyway. Just don't bother, good stranger. Why am I having flashbacks to that one post on Twitter about a girl being absolutely mad her BF and her twin brother were actually together all the time and used her as a shield? By the BF dating her for years and not telling her. I have a bad feeling op. I remember that story. That poor girl dated the guy for like 7 or 9 years before finding out the truth. Imagine that. Broke my heart to read that. Thank you for the context. I do call my closet friends wifey and I call their children my children. I've called them beautiful and sexy, but what I have never done was say I have a crush on them. That isn't normal between platonic friends. No matter the gender. UGF is wrong for going along with the flirting and your sister is dead wrong for flirting in the first place. I'd do what a lot of people are already suggesting and sitting down with your GF and defining boundaries. From what it seems like to me so far is your sister has feelings for your GF, but your GF might not feel the same way and would rather just laugh it off than confront her about it. So I wouldn't suggest sitting down with your sister, cause based on her reaction when you tried the soft confrontation, that will probably just devolve into her getting defensive and confrontational. So sit down with your GF and be honest with her. Tell her that you're uncomfortable with the nature of their relationship and that it is time to set boundaries in your relationship. Offer to let her define some boundaries for you too, so she doesn't feel attacked or like you don't trust her. Then if this behavior continues, maybe consider snooping her phone or something and just finding out. The peace of mind will do you good. I would agree with all of this. Besides the snooping, your GF has done nothing to make you distrust her. She shouldn't have her privacy invaded based on your sister's actions. I have hugged my friends and even kissed them, or flirted with them jokingly, but I would never tell them I have a crush on them, or that I'm next in line to date them. Your GF can't seriously think this is normal. In all fairness, I have said all of these to my best friend, and have entirely platonic love for her lol, but this is definitely sus. My sister said, holy fuck, I have such a crush on you. She said that those kinds of comments are normal between girlfriends and it's nothing to worry about. No, this is not normal talk between girlfriends. Maybe in a porn movie. This reminds me of the guy whose fiance ended up cheating with his sister. Then they got married, and they wanted him at the wedding. Sorry, dude. I'd probably kill myself before going to that wedding personally. If her sister was her brother, y'all would have already been fighting out in the front yard. This is fucked up. Of course your sister is going to be mad about this. She's the one with a crush. That shouldn't be there. U/international_yam_80 has some great advice already. So, keep a spine opus. Don't stress over the possibility of your sister stealing your GF. I'm sure Emily is far more mature there. Set boundaries. If your sister was a man and doing these same things, including the sleepovers, you would have no doubt what's going on. I'd tell both of them this has gone too far and needs to stop. I don't think you want to marry into this situation. While I think that women tend to be much closer and intimate in friendships, your sister does seem to be having some romantic feelings for your GF. I would talk to your GF about how it's making you uncomfortable when someone else is calling her their GF or wife so often and making sexual comments about her. Tell her how you feel, that Amy seems jealous when you two interact. Maybe it'll open her eyes to see something she didn't before. Would you allow brother to make those comments? Ask Emily, if you had a brother and he made the crush comment, would that be okay? Their relationship with each other makes you uncomfortable, period. I don't think the intentions behind the behavior matter, since it continues despite the knowledge that you don't feel okay with it. Since you already talked to your sister, I think it's time to talk to Emily about boundaries and where yours are. Edit. Got the name switched up and added punctuation. Yeah, looks like your sister likes your girlfriend and either your girlfriend is really clueless or your girlfriend reciprocates your sister's feelings and they are seeing each other behind your back. Their behavior is obviously flirty and incredibly inappropriate. Even if they never took it to the next level, I would not be okay with this. Don't let them gaslight you. If she has genuine feelings for Emily, that is possible. It happens. She should distance herself out of respect for her brother's relationship. I'd show your GF this post and talk to her about it. Then talk to your sister and get some distance between her and your GF at least for a while. Your girlfriend is loving getting all this attention. I'm a girl. I've dated other girls. I've never told any of my female friends I had a crush on them. I would never tell my brothers, so I had a crush on them. You see what's happening. Don't ignore your gut. The first and only time I ever called a girl wifey, I ended up dating her for 5 months. While this wouldn't be exactly labeled as emotional cheating, your girlfriend is not seeing the forest. Your sister's behavior is completely inappropriate towards your girlfriend and completely disrespectful to you. Our girlfriend? What a weird fucking sentence. I think first talk to your girlfriend, get the scope of the situation, and see if there was anything else inappropriate said by your sister, and then confront your sister. This is a very difficult situation for you. My take is dual. Your sister is out of line. Siblings don't do that, whether they are straight or gay. Imagine if it was a brother who was behaving like this, saying I have a crush on you, or I'd date her, if you broke up. Would be so out of line. I also think your GF's reaction to your legitimate concern is problematic. She should be on your side. Being defensive and saying, grow up is a bit toxic NGL. If it was me, I think I'd have a word with my sister and explain I think she's acting inappropriately and to respect your own feelings. It wasn't the GF who got defensive and told Op to grow up. It was the Op's sister. Damn, I just saw a post about a guy saying his sister is marrying his ex-fiancée and he wasn't going to go to the wedding. The way I thought of that post as soon as I read this one. WTF, I would never tell a friend I have a huge crush on them. Those comments aren't normal, that's fucking weird. I think your GF needs to set some boundaries and your sister needs to back the F asterisk 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 off. The fact she got so defensive about it is a huge red flag too. I don't know how to approach this without blowing up any of our relationships. Your sister is kinda doing that already. She's flirting with your girlfriend. Not okay under any circumstances. Talk to your sister as she was your brother. Be honest with your girlfriend about how you're feeling, but be wary of using any forceful language to start. Ultimately, her friendship with your sister seems important to her, and if you come off as more insecure than concerned, your sister could use that to her advantage and Emily could easily dismiss you as overreacting. If your sister is already testing the boundaries of how close she can get to your girlfriend without being rejected, I wouldn't put it past her to try to create a wedge in your relationship. If she feels her own with Emily is being threatened, maybe ask your girlfriend to have a serious and private conversation with your sister to ensure that she hasn't developed ulterior motives. I'm sure initially that wasn't likely her intention, but we do tend to develop romantic feelings for people we bond with. She may just need a reality check in a more private manner to try to salvage the friendships here. I think I'd bring in your girlfriend home and ask her to keep her distance from your sister. Okay, as a bisexual woman here, the comments are somewhat normal amongst some girls, but it's the violation boundaries that isn't, and your sister and GF need to see that and be fair. Telling somebody you're first in line to date their partner when they break up is really gross even as a joke. Combined with everything else, your sister really has the hots for her. Sounds like a storyline on Pornhub. Talk to Emily about your sister's reaction and tell her that while she may have seen the comment as platonic, you're pretty sure your sister has a legitimate crush on her. You've known your sister long enough that you probably know when she has a crush on someone. It's up to Emily to have the conversation with Amy, tell her she's not interested, and establish boundaries in their friendship. If Emily is not willing to do any of that, then the other comments are probably right in saying that she's enjoying the attention, which would be a shitty thing to do to both you and Amy. No easy way to do this. You're just gonna have to sit your GF down and set your boundaries. You are uncomfortable with her relationship with your sister and you want them to hang out less because you feel platonic boundaries have been crossed. The first thing that comes to mind is that it's Emily's responsibility to put the brakes on this relationship with Amy. If she's not willing to take a stand and protect the relationship between you and her, then things are going to go south pretty quickly. Emily needs to tell Amy she's not into her. If she can't do that, then there's a problem. Why does this remind me of that one ATA post where a guy's twin sister marries his ex and gets upset over him not coming to the wedding?